Good morning. Welcome to 4x8 Paper Stuff. This is Beth. We are doing a Hobonichi Catchup today. This is the section of the month where I'm doing a couple routine things and filming them over the course of a month and then editing them all together and putting them at the end of the month, thus shortening my monthly project time and eliminating possibly, hopefully, the boredom that sets in midstream. And it's working so far, so we're going to keep it up. As long as it works, we'll just keep doing it. And I'm trying to do a little bit of catching up. And when I say catching up, I have a lot of blank pages. It's been the first couple months of this year were a little rough, and there's not a lot to report on. And I still want to have a smile on every single page when I open this book and possibly mask some of the negative that was happening at the beginning of the year. So we'll possibly do some of that with jelly plates and flowers and paint markers, and I love this. I hadn't even thought about using my jelly plate in the book itself, so watch out for more of that. And I was letting those chalk markers, they're chalk paint markers, like chalkboard markers, in letting them dry and then putting another layer of transparent yellow on top and putting that to use as and then pulling it while that layer is wet. So the chalk marker, the first layer, is dry, and that helps, the wet layer helps glue the second layer, which is the first layer, to the paper. I'm probably not saying that right, but anyhow. Oh, and then I'm like designing my own washi tape. In theory, this would be all in one line, but I don't have that much room. I would love to have this as washi tape. In fact, I need to remember to take a picture of this. Those are not coffee beans. Those are footballs. And it has like football, sports ball, some of the phrases from football: touchdown, defense, run, coach, really, get him, and footballs, and kind of mix that in together and have like my own washi tape. That would be fun. And highlighting a few things that were already here with a little bit more color. Really starting from the beginning of the year, because there's a lot of holes in a lot of places. So I'm trying to fill them in with arts, in air quotes, art, and elaborate on some of the stuff that's already there, and leaving myself titles so that I can go back in and do the journaling, but still leave room for the journaling. Like warm and sleep study and dog tails, that kind of stuff. Using these chalk markers as a background for titles. On top of that, I'll write road trip. As usual, I still like to keep a little bit of what's happening in the news. Today is, no. What's happening in the news and things that I want to remember. And I say this a lot when I'm 80 in the nursing home. I don't think I'm going, hopefully I'm not going to a nursing home when I'm 80, but if some people, oh, there's that yellow paint. Now you know where that yellow paint blob came from. But just having a grand old time with color and adding some places, some cheerfulness where there's cheerfulness missing in my book so far. Now, to me, this is not cheerful. It's getting there because I'm getting there. That was still my favorite page in the back. I just passed it. It had all those green dots on the side, and that was basically started with wiping off a paintbrush into here in a blank spot. That big red bag is a grocery bag that came from my sister in some packing, and that's a Safeway grocery bag, and that's where my dad's, that we can remember, working career was working at Safeway. So that brings back childhood memories. I don't even know what that said. So yeah, just I keep thumbing through it repeatedly and coming back to topics that I can write about now, topics that I still can't write about, and not writing in when I went to Missouri. Not yet. I'm not ready to do that yet. I kind of want to fill in a bunch of these blanks before I start that. That's probably going to be next month's Hobonichi Catchup is Missouri, and working on this section where I went for my quilt retreat, which was 10 days because I drove. Um, so part of it's a road trip also. And just, you know, adding stuff when it works in the right place, adding more color where I can, um, talking about football players retiring. I mean, just little, it's a life book. I say this a lot. I say this a lot. I'm tired of saying it. It's a life book, and I use it as a life book. Everything goes in here. The good, the bad, and the ugly. The crazy dog. All the words that we say to him over and over. Is that yours? Drop it, drop it, drop it. This is an on repeat page. Wanting ice cream all the time. Listening for the babies being born, not the babies, but the practice of getting the babies in our cove this spring, early spring, was immense. There were so many birds and so many ducks and so many geese and the osprey. Everybody was having their pre-maternity ward sessions in our cove this year, and it was awesome. And I don't want to forget that, how all those sounds. Oh, and this is what you call a cholesterol monster. All those sounds, just because I used scraps and I made a monster and turned it into a cholesterol monster, although I can't spell cholesterol. All those birds making all those noises for about 2 or 3 weeks straight, just constant. It was so cool to listen to them, and I just made a border with my jelly plate, having the time of my life doing this. And I messed that layer up, but it still worked. It still works. Art goofs are the best sometimes. And I was trying an experiment, trying to do something on deli paper to see if it would come across, but it doesn't transfer real well. At least not the way I was doing it, or the supplies maybe that I was using. And again, just adding color where there was big gaps and missing things. And still so sad about the 49ers losing the Super Bowl. Still so sad. I have my 49ers t-shirt on today. This is my favorite page right here. Those green sections were wiping off a bunch of green paint and then figuring out what to do with it next. I have whole pages here that are missing anything. And I really was... my heart was not in this in January and February. And it came across in my Hobonichi. So then I'm like, stickers. I have lots of stickers. Oh, and we saw our first hummingbird, April 4th. And that needed to be annotated in my analog life book. But I went through a couple sticker books, kind of adding things that I knew I wouldn't use on something else, just filling in gaps. Just because they're pretty, they're useful, they're another dimension of color. I knew I had some stickers in this. I used this month on my project, so I was like, oh yeah, there's stickers in here too. So I put them in here. Trying to use supplies that I have, going to my old sticker drawer and pulling out stuff, and using it. And just going back and forth. Where are the blank pages? And this is where I start clipping the pages together from my Missouri Star retreat that I'm not ready to attack yet. It's in a journal. Those are on videos now, but it's not. No, it's not. 2024 is not. 2023 is. And just what was I? Oh, talking about my blueberries and lemon curd crepes that I was trying to make with this blueberry paper. And now that I'm on a diet, I can't have them, and that's all I taste is lemon curd and blueberry crepes with whipped cream. Oh. And that came from going to California last year after my Missouri Star retreat, and this bakery was right close to my friend's house, and we went there twice for breakfast. Oh my God, it was so good. Just she and I just catching up. These are Erin Condren, and I don't know if they weren't stickers before. If they were, the sticky is all gone. There's some kind of coating on them that you peel off. But I forgot I had these. I think I saw them somewhere and I ordered them on Amazon. And they've been in my slightly used sticker drawer. And then this is me, putting a bunch of angry faces on things. Um, just so that I remember that I was angry and was in a bad place, for many reasons. But anyhow, uh, back to the cholesterol monster. Um, and that's no fraps, and denying that there's extra weight. That has all happened before these dates, but I don't mind going back on something like that because it's been lingering in the back of my head for a long time. I know, for 10 years, really, but it's now become an issue and I need to get rid of it. So there's some fruit on some stickers that I put next to a banana peel label because, hello. Um, and that's just putting life. Some Nightmare Before Christmas stickers that I paid an absolute fortune for, and I better use them. Um, and a dog sticker that can go next to some crazy story from Gunner. These are still Erin Condren. Those big pieces of paper are still Erin Condren, and I'm just trying to use them up. I didn't even remember I had them. I'm not using them for what they were for, but I'm using them. Um, and some of the little tiny 1-inch books that I love, trying to use those too. Remember, you have all this stuff. Sometimes I put things away and I forget I have it. Um, does that ever happen to you guys? Ugh. Still lamenting about the 49ers. Still. Um, and this little lady deserved a quick little bakery, I thought. And trying to read some of these fantasy books that are popular. I don't think I'm a fantasy book reader. I just other worlds. I'm having a hard time. I have my own other world in my head. I can't deal with some author's other world too. Um, but just reminding myself, no fraps, no fraps, no fraps, in different places because it's going to be the bane of my existence for a while. Um, well, actually, it's supposed to be forever, but maybe once in a while, once a month, I can have one. Um, and earthquakes and the fact that we've had a bunch of tiny ones here again. Um, Along with New York and all of that too, New Jersey, but just filling in some gaps that needed to be filled in, and enjoying every millisecond of doing this, and it's just the most fun is looking back on these books. I love flipping through these pages, no matter if it's good or bad news. I still love going through these and remembering the thoughts that I was having back then. So thanks for watching. See you tomorrow. Bye.